Now record, now record, record everyone. So guys, yesterday, oh, sorry, थोड़ा सा इधर आ जाए. So yesterday we have seen the VRF concept, right? So VRF is stand for the virtual routing forwarding, right? So based on that, the virtual routing table, the router will forward the packet. So how do I create the VRF? The very simple command. Step number one, create the VRF. How I did, I just put the command IP VRF and define the name, and this name is associated with your routing table. This name is associated with your routing table. Then after that, you need to go on the interface 0/0, and tell this person, hey, this interface is now a part of the VRF. Cisco, which VRF? Cisco. So now this interface now move in the Cisco routing from global. Right. So very simple commands are there. Create VRF, the step number one, IP VRF Cisco, right? This is the command. And then after that, we need to associate this interface into the particular VRF, which VRF? Cisco. This name is case sensitive, guys. This name is case sensitive. So whatever the name that you are going to define, it has to be same. Right. So yesterday we have seen that like how we can implement the static routing with the VRF, right? So we just need to put the command IP root. Then we need to define the VRF and whatever the VRF table you are going to use. And I'm going to say 1.0.0.0 submit mask information and next obli, whatever the next of you have. So this command will tell this person, right? In VRF table, not global. Whereas if you put the command IP root 1.0.0.0, this information will be installed in your global routing. Right. So here we have mentioned this keyword VRF Cisco.
So that is in the ISP table we added that, right? IP route VRF.
Yeah, of course. This is the VRF that you are going to do mostly, right? 99% chance you are doing the VRF. We cannot say that 99%. It's totally depend on the requirement. Most of the time, the ISP is going to use the VRF also. Most of the time, customer is very less requirement. Customer side. I'll show you whatever the requirement we have. Don't worry. But customer has a very less requirement. Always, yeah, the VRF concept is implementing on the ISP side. We'll see the scenario where we can, the customer is going to use this concept VRF. And how do I ping? If you ping, if you just put the command ping, if you just use this command ping 101.101, what happens? It look up global routing. If you want to this guy. And how do I verify these things? 1 minute, I'll allow you to go on. Show IP VRF. Show IP VRF interface. Right? These are the commands to check like and show IP root VRF system. So these are the verification command you can use to verify this thing, right? Now let's come back to the scenario. Now we are going to implement the dynamic routing protocols, right? So we can go for the RIP. In the dynamic, we can start from the RIP, PHGRP, BGP, right? So So first I'm going to configure the RIP, right? I'm going to configure the RIP on this side, this side, this side, this side, this side as well as. Okay, on every router, I'm going to configure the RIP, right? And through the RIP, I'm going to exchange the routing information. So on a router, right, on the client side, on a customer side, these are my customer, right? These are my customer, right? These are my customer. On a customer side, we are going to run the normal RIP. For example, on a R1, version 2 network, 15.0, network, done, copy. R1 is configured, right? Same way. Let me just move from the size. All done. Or we have our same configuration on R2, router RIP, version 2, 25.0, network, done. Same way R3, this guy, R3, normal RIP you are going to configure on the customer side, always normal RIP. Nothing we have to do any configuration. A very normal configuration. So before I'm going to paste this RIP configuration, let's see the whatever the IPs are configured, right, on the customer side. So if you verify from the router number 1, that is the Cisco Bangalore office, right? Show IP interface brief. Font is too small, right? I think so. R1, R2, and here we're going to start. So if you see the configuration of R1, we have a proper configuration of R1, right? And if you show IP protocol summary, we don't have any protocol is enabled. Okay, BGP is enabled. Let's remove this BGP, right? Let me check the configuration. Okay, now port. Nothing is there. All done and done. So I'm going to start my configuration from the router number 1, that I'm going to paste this configuration, normal configuration, right? So on router number 1, we have a 2 loopbacks. One is a 1.0 and 10.0. Verify this thing. Not then create the loopback and paste this configuration, right, on our router number 1, normal configuration. Done, right? On a router number 3, if you just have a look at this Cisco Delhi branch, right? All done. Let's configure the RIP on this side. All done. What about the router number 2 now? If you go back to the router number 2, and if you verify the do show IP interface brief export on the sign, we all have a proper IP addressing on the router number 2. Now we need to copy this command. Copy. And let's paste this on the screen. So we have a 2 duplication. If you see that we have a duplicate range, the private range can be duplicate, right? मेरी छींक मेरी मम्मी पे गई, मेरा शकल मेरे पापा पे गया, मेरी छींक मेरी मम्मी पे गई और गंदा छिटका हुआ. Now, if you go back to the router number 4 now, and if you verify the show IP interface brief, all good. We have a proper IP addressing on the router number 4. So let's configure this 4 as well as copy and all done. Done. So now it's time to configure the R5, right? On R5, this 2 interface should be a part of VRF, right? Which VRF? Cisco. So what I'm going to do on this guy, on this 2 interface, I'm going to start my configuration, right? The VRF configuration on the router number 5. Interface, okay, first create the VRF. Done on R5, write this configuration, copy. On a 0/1 as well as this 35.1, same information, 35.5. On 2/0 now, sorry, 1/0. This should be Nokia. Guys, make sure that this is a case sensitive, right? Many person is doing the mistake this in exam. Okay, the name is very, very important, case sensitive. Always remember, whenever you're not able to ping, right, in a VRF case, if you have a VRF on the router and if you're not able to ping, check your VRF configuration, most important, because many person is doing the mistake with the VRF, many person. All good, right? So let's copy this configuration on the router number 5. Copy and
Last one is Cisco. You have to change it to Nokia.
wow, made a mistake, right? Done. All good. So now if you see do show IP VRF, verify this thing to show VRF interface. Can you see now all we have a proper IP address. Right? Now I need to configure the RIP on this guy. Problem.
So 2/0 is still shut down. It is not up.
Okay. Is it? Now the thing is that in networking, the IP is categorized in the 2 ways, right? IPv4 and IPv6. Right? The IP has a 2 parts. One we have a IPv4, one we have a IPv6. Right? At the same time, IP is going to provide the 3 types of communication, right? Unicast, multicast, and broadcast. Normally, what happened in a normally we have a 2 types of routing protocol, right? We have a 2 types of routing protocol. Either we have a unicast routing protocol, that is a RIP, EHGRP, OSPF, BGP. The multicast routing protocol comes in the picture like a DBMRP, MOSPF, PIM. Okay, so according to the traffic wise, right, we have a 2 types of 3 types of traffic. We can say the unicast, multicast, and broadcast. But we are only going to deploy the unicast routing protocol and either the multicast routing protocol, depend on the requirement, right? Now, thing is that this IPv4, right, this guy is going to work with the this person, and this person as well. Okay, and this all are the things are which guy, this all things are for the global. Global is a global routing table. So if you're just going to enable router rep and version 2, and if you put the network, whatever the network we have, take example 1.0, what happened? You are enabling this command is saying that hey, you're enabling the VRF. Sorry, this command. This is saying that you are advertising this network in global. At the same time, what happened right now? The ISP is running with the which part? The ISP is running with the VRF, right? At the same thing, what happened for the VRF? We have a same way. We have a unicast, we have a multicast, we have IPv4, IPv6. So basically, what happened on the router side? We have a family, right? Two families are there. The family number 1, the family number 2. And there after that, what happened? The family has a 2 sons. We have IPv4, IPv6, unicast for the IPv4, unicast for the IPv4 multicast. Right now on the ISP side, what happened? I'm not going to deploy this RIP protocol for the global, right? Because this all these interfaces are belongs to the particular VRFs, Cisco, Nokia. I need to tell this person, hey, I'm going to deploy router RIP protocol, not for the global, for the particular address family. Which address family? IP4, that's belong to the VRF Cisco. Exit over there for right now and see. Two things is happening. One is a unicast. By default, this command is enabled. And you know what is the meaning of this command? You are advertising this route for the global. Actually, in the background, this command is by default enabled. You are doing the unicasting, right? If you remember this command IP routing, what this command is doing, it enable unicast, right? Only unicast. If you see do show IP multicast, still multicast is what? Disable. So I need to go on the router number 5. What I'm going to tell this person, hey, I'm going to run this protocol RIP for which we are at Cisco. And now in the Cisco, how many routes are present? This 2.1, right? 15.0 and done. And the same way, we have another VRF Cisco. Sorry, another VRF we have, that is a Nokia, right? And that also going to run for the which one? IPv4, right? Network. How many routes we have in the IP Nokia? 25.0 and so now if you have a look the configuration, do show run section RIP or router. This is for the Nokia, right?
No, when did you say that that address family syntax is needed?
Yeah. Or how you can define if you're going to enable for the IPv4, right? You don't need to put this command. By default, this command is exist over there. I'm going to override this command over there.
Okay, so your regular router will have that, is it? Address family
Yeah,
IP.
your regular router is have this one.
Can you just
This-
show me on
this-
R1 now, R2 if it's already there? IPv4
No,
unique.
it's a hidden over there. It's been not seen over there. Like this command. IP routing. Have you ever seen this command on the running config? See,
Okay.
are you able to see the IP routing anywhere? You can't see that. This IP routing, this command IP routing is going to enable the unicast behavior. See the command line, router rep, what I'm doing over there. What even let's do one thing. I'll do one thing. R1, I'm going to configure the start my configuration for how no router rep. I'm going to disable the rep over there, right? I'm going to start my configuration like this. Address, sorry. Address on IP port, unicast, network. Advertise like this. Both are correct one. Network. Actually, this is the way that you're going to configure the command. See, I did this configuration, but what happened? It's not showing this. It's a problem of the version. You can do this thing on a different version. It will show this command as well. By default, this command is enabled. By default. I did my configuration like this, but what happened? They convert into the normal one, the older format. My version is not updated. So now if you see, R1 is able to receive all the route. Do show IP route. Okay, what happened? So IP route VRF Cisco. Okay. So IP route VRF Nokia. Okay, I'm able to receive this route. R2. Okay, 1 minute. The customer is not receiving the route. Why? Show them section. So IP interface B. So instruction. So this is happening. R5 is able to receive all the information. Can I ping? Yep. When R2 is able to receive why? Just wait for some time. It's a slow protocol. Okay. Check on our router. Too show IP. Okay, this is bug. Just give me 1 minute. This is bug. My router is not able to receive this information. This is make continue.
So on R5 configuration, can you just show what?
Load and section. Sky right? Yes, it's correct. Chale.
And you configured the interfaces also on that VRF, right?
Yeah, perfect. It's VRF is correct. VRF is correct. So if you show, it will show you one thing. See. Just I'll show you something else. VHRP. We found the neighborship with the EHRP, and EHRP is receiving the route. It's a bug of the GNS3. No need to define version on the ISP. Yeah, no need. By default, it will take the version 2. If you configure the address family.
You really went
Let's
fast. So I'm not sure what you did there. Okay.
see. Maybe it wasn't need to the issue because by default, but it has to be received the route like. So not minute. So, but you can see the problem is this. I'm only using the 45 it has to use the 4 as well as well. Take it now. No router rep. The router rep address family IPv4 VRF Cisco and as the version 2 network sorry 2015 logic. I have to link this guy. And the same thing we need to do for the Nokia as well as network. 45 audio network. 25 audio.
Sir, I think you advertised wrong network, sir. 15 and 35 should be in. You did no network 35 on Cisco.
15 and 35 should be in the Cisco, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
25.
25 and 45 is correct. Okay, okay, yeah, I did. Cisco 2 and
35 and
right. Let's see if the version issue is happening. We'll see the route. Here we go. Yeah, it was the version mismatch is happening. And didn't define the version on the RAM. And didn't define the version. This command I forgot. Also, I didn't define over there, so let me define instead. Now to show run section. Router. Here we go. I forget to define this command on the tab. So now R2 will receive this information. Yeah, but it's not receiving the 4.0, right? Okay, on R3 to show IP route. See, am I able to receive all the route? R3 is able to receive all the route, right? R1 is able to receive all the route 3.0 and 35.0. Let's go back to the router number 4 if you see to show IP route. Now R4 is not able to receive the route, right? Maybe some issue on R2 configuration. Sorry. Is enabled. It's a guys, it's a bug, right? It's a bug of the GNS tree. They are not working with the the. But yeah, I forget to enable the command this one, right? Version 2 only, right? But it's a bug. You can do one thing. You can take a 15.0 as version, and you can do this practical. It will work over there. Because I did the same practical many times, right? Because every configuration is correct, right? Version 2, version 2. The ISP on a customer side, you need to do the normal configuration, right? Normally you need to do the customer side like this one.
You have version 15 images, right?
No, I have a 15 images, but I need to draw the topology for the 15 as well as again. But right now I'm running with the 12.0. I think so. I'm running with the 12.0. That's a bug. Because R1 is able to exchange the route with the R3, but this customer is not. So this guy is able to exchange the route from here to here, right? Okay, this guy is able to extend the route, but this guy is not able to extend the route. The configuration same, that nothing is different in the configuration, but this guy is able to extend, this guy is not. Nothing is a bug of that or the GNS thing. Don't worry. Stay right in the R1, R4 is not there. Even if you check on a R2, R2 is able to receive the 45.0 route, but not the complete one. So it's a bug of it. Right, so this is how you can configure, like, the rep. You can do this practical on the 15.0 as version. It will work over there. Don't worry. And even it's not working, so don't worry. Like, the RIP is totally obsolete protocol legacy now. We are not going to use the RIP, and you will never find anywhere RIP. Not in the examination. Even the version 5.5 is not given the RIP over there, right? Not in the syllabus, not in the examination, not anywhere. I just show you that how you can enable the RIP on the VRF, particular VRF. That's it. But this guy is not. We are not going to use the RIP anywhere. Right? You can do this practical on the 15.0 version. Same command will be there. Just put the same command. It will work over there. Maybe. Otherwise, if it's not working over there, then again it's a big issue with the the iOS version. Let's do one thing now. I'll make this lab on the VMware so that I can show the other people as well as right. Maybe they have questions, so I can do that.
Will it work on the PNet?
I'm just checking out on the web IU as well as PNet will work. PNet has the updated emails. The PNet has some issue with the firewall. I have seen this. Have you done with this, SD-WAN, Ron?
Sorry?
Have you done with the SD-WAN part?
Have I done what?
SD-WAN, software defined network.
Yeah, it's coming along.
How's the SD-WAN? Is it hard or like what?
Is it hard?
Yeah, I'm asking, is it hard? Is it complex to configure this thing? Like not the
Well, a lot of
protocol.
things are automatic.
Yeah.
You don't have to redistribute static. You don't have to redistribute connected. A lot of things just are automatic. Tunnels are built automatically.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's yeah, OSPF automatically redistributes connected routes, static routes, inter-area routes, and intra-area routes into OMP without any configuration.
And how the loop prevention is happening?
Well, I don't know. I'm getting information from this person and that person. Because a lot of these companies don't have configuration. They'll give you show commands, but then they won't give you the configuration. So you have to find it from somewhere else. So it's been a grind. All these SD-WAN labs, I see an MPLS cloud and an internet cloud, but it doesn't look like the lab is like that. The CCIE lab, it looks like there's an MPLS core. Everything's connected to that.
Exactly right. Exactly right. See, SD-WAN, one thing. SD-WAN loop prevention mechanism is quite lengthy. Not lengthy, it's very easy again. Not lengthy, it's very easy as compared to the normal. The SD-WAN, even the SD-WAN, the loop prevention mechanism is totally depend on the unicast routing protocol that you are using in the traditionally. If you have a SD-WAN Cisco press book, right? In the SD-WAN Cisco press book, this thing is given, right?
Cisco Press.
Yeah, Cisco press SD-WAN.
Who wrote it?
Sorry?
Who wrote it?
Let me check that one. Who sorted this thing?
You don't have it?
Let me check. I have it. तुझे चाहता कोई और है.
Most of the work
मेरा
is
class?
getting the images working
मेरा?
and then getting the devices registered. That's more work than anything.
प्यार है किसी और को तुझे चाहता कोई. See, do you know any one of the person?
No.
No. अच्छा ये फाउंडर था खालिद.
Can you send?
Okay, let me configure this thing. This week में ना इन्हीं of these things करना है. It's gonna be आपको ये भी करना है. Maybe we are Cisco. Oh, please, man. ये देखो मैं थोड़ा सा चलिए. ठीक है. Wasn't. Done. Done. 25 or 0. 25 sorry. Done. Done. Last order. Come on, man. Show IP dude. show IP route VRF. Cisco show IP route VRF. लॉक किया बाबा, आ गया कस्टमर के पास भी आ जाना चाहिए। टू शो IP route आगे इसके रिप के बगैर आगे डन डन। R2 R3 हो गया, कस्टमर को R2 डन R3 R1 कुल मिला के बग GNS3 has some issue. GNS3 has some issue, guys. If you see, I have all things right. If you see the rip, I'm getting all the output right. Everywhere. R2 has a complete information about the another site 4.0 and 45.0, right? R2 router number 2. R3 has a complete information about the, like, you know, R5 has a complete information, the ISP, about the Nokia table and Cisco as well as. At the same time, R4 has a complete information, right? Sorry, R4, the 2.0 about this site, okay? And R1 also have a complete information of 3.0 and 35.0. It was a bug on the GNS3. It's not a, you cannot say that it's a bug of the GNS3, guys, right? It's a bug of the iOS version. It's a bug of the iOS, nothing else. Then now let's configure the EHRP. So what I'm going to do for the EHRP configuration, I'm going to remove the rip from the every router right now. No router rip. No router rip. Done. I have removed the rip on every router. Now let's start the EHRP. Router EHRP on the customer side, right? Normal. So what I can do, I'm going to assume this person is going to use the EHRP number 1, this customer, because they are the same customer, right? The Nokia is going to use the EHRP number 2 and Cisco is going to use the 1. R1 and R3. The configuration should be same, right? Can I use this one? I can use, right? No issue. R2 and R4. Done. Right? R2. Done. R4. Done. R1 and R3. That is this guy, R1 and R3. Done. Done. On an ISP, what happened? On an ISP, first of all, what you need to enable the EHRP side. You need to enable the EHRP first of all. How do I enable it? I can use the any dummy AS number. Any dummy AS number. I can use the 100. I can use the 500. To just enter in the EHRP mode, right? To just enter in the EHRP mode, we need to use any AS number. You can use the same number as well as if you know use the 1, you can use the 1 as well as You can use the 2, you can use the 2 as well as. But right now, I'm just going to use the one global AS number. I'm just going to use the one global AS number. And in this global AS number, what I'm going to call, I call the address family IPv4, which person? Classic mode, right? Classic mode does not support the IPv6, IPv4. And then put the VRF name. If you put the question mark, he's giving the option, right? Unicast or VRF. By default, unicast is enabled. I just need to put the VRF and then VRF name Cisco. Hit enter and say the autonomous system. Which autonomous system this guys belong? So AS number 1, right? Cisco is belong to the AS number 1. Cisco AS number 1. Cisco AS number 1. And then here I say that network 0.0.0. Whatever the network are present in the Cisco routing table, all they will be advertised by using the 0.0 statement. Do show IP route VRF Cisco. See, 2 networks. I can advertise both of the networks just putting the 0.0.0. Exit. Same way. Now I'm going to use the Nokia over there. Sorry. Nokia. And then AS number what? 2. Right? Nokia is going to use the 2 network. All done. So now if you should do show run section EAGRP. Now if you have a look at it, do show IP route VRF Cisco. I have all customer out. And if you see the do show IP VRF route Nokia. So now R2, this loopback is not there, 10.0. Let's create this guy. So now if you see. Duplication is there, right? You can see that. Do show IP route Cisco. But both are present, right? But both are present in a different routing table. And now if you see the customer information, right? Customer also have show IP route. R2 has the information on the R4. I can ping this guy, right? If you know ping. And if you go back to the router number 1, that is this guy, Cisco Bangalore office. I have 3.0.0, right? I can ping this person. On that side, if you see on R4, I have a R2 information. And on R3, I have a R1 information. So on a normal router, on the customer router, we are just going to enable the normal EAGRP. On the ISP side, you have to do like this configuration. I'm again repeating this AS number, you can take any name. You just need to enter in the EAGRP mode. That's why I use the global AS number. I can use the AS number 2 as well as if you want, I can use it. Let's have a look over there. Let me remove this person, no router EAGRP 500. I say that router EAGRP. Take anyone. I take a 1 over there. And this one is already used by the Cisco. I can copy this person. AS number 1. Done. And for Nokia, AS number 2. And we are good to go. So do show IP root. So do show run section. This is a global AS number, right? It can be anything. And under the VRF, I'm going to use the AS number 1. Under this VRF, you are going to use the AS number 2. Global AS number, local to the VRF, local to the VRF. This global AS number could be anything. It's totally up to you. You just need to enter in the EIGRP mode. That's it, nothing else. This thing I did in the classic mode, you can do also in the named mode as well. If you want to do the named mode, I can show you as well as if you want. Let's do one thing now. Let's come back to this part. Where is the topology? This one, I can configure the name mode if you want. I'll do one thing. Host name R1, right? Same topology in Bangalore and Delhi is there. No router rip. CCI name mode. Network address family. IPv4 autonomous. Okay. IPv4 autonomous system number 1. Network 0.0.0.0.0. Done. On a R4. Host name R4. That is this guy. Nokia, right? Sorry. We have to configure the name mode. Router EHRP. Name will be CCNP. Done. On R3, that this guy. So name you can use anything, right? The name mode. This is locally significant, right? And if you go back to the router of 2 now, right? Address on IPv4, autonomous system number 1. And here you can use the unicast. Sorry. If you see, I can use the unicast keyword. If you want, you can use it. By default, it's a unicast. If you see, we have an option over there. By default, it's unicast. So if you see, I didn't put this command, right? I just put the address family IPv4 autonomous system number 1. By default, this command will take for the unicast. If you want to specify for the multicast, you need to put the multicast keyword. But right now, if you want to specify the unicast, sorry, it should be 2, right? So already 1 is configured, not allowed for the 2. Let's meet. Now I say the network. On the ISP side, what I can do, the router of 5. Router EGRP, which name? Tell me anything. Spider-Man. Address family. IPv4, right? Now which one? VRF. What's the autonomous system number 1? Okay. Just go. Then AS number 1, right? Network. From the neighborship. Same thing with this guy. Nokia. What are AS number? 2. Network. Done. Do show run section AGRP. This is the name mode configuration. Just give me 1 minute. I'll just come back. Okay. Just till meanwhile, watch this command. अरे सुन मेरी बात इसमें ना पानी भर लेगा in this so this is the coconut right so I finish this 3 coconut I throw it right so this is the coconut this is the oh, this is there right coconut is there. So you just put the water no more water okay this lady then I can feel it right like coconut water yeah guys anyone has a questions no this clear is like a classic mode how you can configure the VRF and the name mode, right? So whatever the AS number that you're defining over there, this AS number is a global AS number, and this is the local to the VRF. You can use any of the AS number; it's totally up to you. And in the like a name mode, you just need to specify the name. It could be any name, and under this name you can define the this thing. Cisco Autonomous System 1, that is this guy 1 and this guy is 2. This is awesome. शॉर्ट सर्किट करवा दूंगा मैंने इसमें कुछ नहीं होगा जानता नहीं है मुझे तो VPN वीडियो ना चाहिए तुझे देता हूँ तुझे क्लास में जब अरे अंडे सब कुछ दूंगा आके पढ़ा दूंगा मैं ऐसा ही ना मैं अभी देता हूँ पूरे वीडियो All good guys or so you can do it yeah will not remember me now let's do the old stuff configuration right let's remove the EHRP done how do I configure the OSPF? On the customer side, normal OSPF is going to be done, right? Dot row OSPF number 1. That's it. Network 15.0. Area 0, network 1.0.0.0.0. Area 0, network 10.0.0.0.0. Area 0, right? On a customer R1. On a R3, network 35.0. Area 0, network 3.0.0.0. area 0. Customer, right? Normal configuration. R4 customer, any AS number you can take, sorry, any process ID. 2 45.0 area 0, right? Area 0. R2 25.0 area 0 network. Area 0 network. Now, in OSPF, there is no concept of in this OSPF version 2 is only dedicated for the which part? In OSPF version 3, this guy is dedicated for the IPv4, IPv6. That's why we have an address family concept over there. But in this case, no, because only dedicated for the IPv4. So what happened? Your configuration will be something very easy as compared to the any other routing protocol. R5 ISP router OSPF number 1. Put the question mark. It's asking you the VRF, which VRF? Cisco. Put the network area 0. Router OSPF number 1. VRF, which VRF? Nokia. Sorry, AS number 2. Sorry, process ID number 2, right? VRF, which VRF? Nokia. Done. Do so, run section OSPF. So now you can see all configuration we have, and all the router is going to exchange the route. Go back to the router number 2. See, on a router number 2, we have a 45.0 information and 4.4.4.4, right? On a router number 1, if you see, on a router number 1, they have information of the Delhi branch. On a router number 4, you have information of the R2. And router number 3, that this guy, right? You have information of the router number 1.
So here in the ISP router, you are enabling the same OSPF process as a customer end, correct?
Yeah, of course. Otherwise, two database table will be there, right? Remember those class that I taught you, right? If you have a two database table on the same link, the database table will be not exchanged, right? They'll
So
form the
then in that,
neighborship. They
okay,
will form the neighborship. Database will not exchange because
okay, but
every
then
process ID has a separate database table. Every process
oh,
ID has a separate database table. Remember one thing.
so then in that case with OSPF we have a limitation, is it? Because
There is no
like,
limitation. We are going to use the AS number 1, this guy, process ID 1, process ID 1, this guy, the customer, and the process ID 2, this customer, process ID 2, this customer. The Cisco is configured with the 1, Nokia is configured with the 2. That's it. Nothing. Where is the limitation is happening?
so now if we have like 500 customers, then how can I enable OSPF 3,
Yeah,
4?
yeah, you can. There's no issue with those. You can enable it. EHRP has the issue with that one.
Okay.
मेरी गलती तेरी गलती. Done. So if you see the like reachability as well as from R1, I can ping this person as well 3.3.3.3. Source, awesome. I have a good reachability, right? So this is the how you can configure those. So if you know, right on the configuration on the customer side, I'll show you the configuration, normal configuration on the customer side, right? And on the ISP side, yes. आप चल रहे हो ना? ओए बाबा चल रहे हो? आपने भेजा था उसको? हाँ, उसने दिया नहीं होगा। वो मेरे सामने पहुंचा था कि नारियल पानी दो। मैं किसने भेजा है? कहता अमित ने। मेरे पैसे भेजे उसने? कहता नहीं। तो मैंने कहा मत देना इस इंसान को। मैं हम लोग उससे वही थे। पी लो। मैंने भी 6-7 मंगा लिए थे। अभी जस्ट 6-7 मंगाए थे। क्लास में वही पी लो। किससे क्या मंगाया? स्टूडेंट्स है? ऑल गुड? Now let's start the VGSM for this one, right? VRF with the BGP. So I'm going to remove all OSPF, no router OSPF 1, VRF, Cisco, and no, this guy. Done. Customer, no router OSPF number 1. Sorry, it should be 2, right? One, R2 should be 2. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, and 3. All different age numbers. So we are going to run the eBGP, right? Between this guy, eBGP, eBGP, and eBGP. So what configuration I'm going to do on a customer side on a router number 1? On a router 1, router BGP number 1, neighbor I'm going to form the neighborship with the 15.5. The ISP remote age will be what? 5. Network I'm going to advertise my own network and 10.0.0. On router number 1, normal BGP configuration, right? I need to form the neighborship with the 15.5, and that is running with the remote age 5. And I'm going to advertise my all network internal. On a router number 3, same thing. I need to do this guy. 3 neighborship I'm going to form with the 35.5. Remote age will be 5 and network 3.0.0. All done. I'm going to advertise my this LAN network, right? On a R4 as well as router BGP number 4. 5 network 4.0.0.0. Same way on a R2, 25.5, that is AS5, network 2.0.0.0, network 10.0.0.0. ISP. Router BGP number 5. Neighborship, I'm going to form with the 15.1. Remote age will be what? 1, right? What this command is going to do in this case? If you just put this neighbor 15.1, as we know that BGP works on the which protocol? TCP, right? And TCP is a reliable. It will check a reliability for this route, right? Do we have this information in the local routing table? Which routing table they will look up? But actually, this route is present in the Cisco routing table, right? So what happened? I need to define Address family IPv4 VRF, and then same way 35.3, then we have a Nokia, done. Good, and I'm done. Show run section BG. It will not show you this command, right? This configuration will not show you. You can, this is the issue with iOS. You can check show run. Maybe in this one it will show you. It's the iOS bug, right? It's iOS bug. But configuration is correct, right? Can anyone tell me why this router is not forming the neighborship? If you see, show IP BGP summary, show IP BGP VPN V4, all summary, all are in the ideal state. Anyone tell me the reason why they are not able to form the neighborship? This will be happen in your CC exam. In a CC exam, what happened? I'll tell you. Many person is doing the VRF configuration, and the VRF, what happened? They forget to configure the router ID manually. So your configuration is correct, right? Your configuration is correct, but still your state will be ideal because of this person. BGP cannot run because the router ID is not configured, right? So what happened? Either we need to create the one loop back, that is 5.5.5.5.5.5, right? So automatically what happened? The router ID will be chosen by this 5.5.5 by the router, or either we need to go in the mode and define the BGP router ID manually. It's totally up to you. So now if you see, wait for some time, my neighbor is coming up. All done. So see, right? And my all neighbor is up. And if you see the routing information, they are able to exchange the route. Show IP dot BGP. Show IP dot VRF. Cisco. Show I. Okay. What happened? Wait for some time. It's a slow routing protocol. Yep. See. And show IP route VRF. Okay.
Can you go to customer router and just check, sir? Please?
Yep. Okay. On R1 as well as on R3 as well as on R4 as well as. मैं बोतल लेके नहीं आया तो इसमें पानी भरवा लो। मेरा पानी खत्म हो गया तो मैंने कहा पानी भर के लेके इसी में तो सर टेस्ट वही वाली है बट थोड़ा गरीब वाला टेस्ट है। इंटरव्यू वो इंटरव्यू हुआ था अभी हो गया सेकेंड राउंड के लिए सेलेक्ट कर लिया। अब भाई साहब नेटफ्लिक्स रिचार्ज हो जाएगा इसमें ना। क्या क्या क्वेश्चन पूछा दो ही पूछा उसने बोल दिया सेकेंड राउंड के लिए सेलेक्ट हो गई। पता नहीं मैं जब बस इतना ही सही है। show run section BGP. So guys, make sure that so it's not going the information is a bug up the like iOS, right? You can see if I'm going to do the configuration on this one. Oh, you can do this configuration on the 15.0 as it will show you. My topology was configured the 12.0 as version. That's why I did this one. Okay, but it will show in the updated iOS version. Right? If you have a question you have used this command show IP BGP VPN before all summary. Don't worry about that. I'm going to explain this one later on, not now. Okay, in the MPLS part, I'm going to explain this one. So here, guys, I'm done with the VRF. Right? If you have any questions, you can ask me. I'm discussing on the VRF Lite, right? RD and RT. This concept we are going to discuss in the MPLS part. चलो एक क्वेश्चन लेता हूं. Take example. What happened? R1, right? R2, R5, R6, R3. ये मेरे दो कस्टमर राउट, ये आईएसपी राउट. सिस्को, सिस्को, नोकिया, नोकिया, राइट? कैसे करोगे? Tell me. This interface, in this case, what happened? You know, if you have a look like this topology, in this interface, you have to configure this guy 0/0 into VRF Cisco, and this interface 0/1 also VRF in the Cisco. This interface 0/1 also VRF in the Cisco, and this interface 0/0 also in the VRF Cisco. Same way, this interface 0/2 and 0/3 part of the Nokia, and 0/2 and 0/3 is a part of the Nokia. Custom. It seems like if you have multiple customer, right, you need to create a multiple physical link. But this kind of topology we are not going to use, right? Like if you remember that in a switch layer 2 network, what happened? Two switches are there, and if you have a 20 VLANs, VLAN number 1 to 20, you need to create the 20 physical links, right? To avoid this problem, we have introduced the 80.1 queue encapsulation protocol, right? Tagging. Same thing, to avoid this kind of topology, we are going to use the, in this case, we are going to use the route distinction and RT. These two concepts we are going to use. So if you have 1,000 customer, right, you are going to use the single link over there, not the multiple links. But this part we are going to discuss not now, later on. Don't worry. In the MPLS part, I'm going to discuss. So here I'm done with the BGP and VRF Lite. If you have any questions, you can ask. No?
The lab will probably be BGP, right?
Sorry?
The lab is probably going to be BGP.
Yeah, lab is probably 100% the BGP right there. Only BGP in the lab. Only BGP will happen in the lab, not the OSP. Yeah. So if you have a DMVPN, 1 minute, let me remind me of the lab scenario. No, even the OSP is also not there in the US. Yes, it's not there. BGP is also there. Only BGP. I don't know about the next one. Maybe in the new lab will be the OSP as well as with the VRF. Yeah, but mostly in the version 4 and version 5, the BGP is also. All good, guys. So see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ask
tell
one
me.
question.
Yeah.
VRF.
Yeah.
Actually, I created one topology yesterday. I understand everything,
Okay.
but I didn't get why it was giving the, why the tunnel was getting down, because we already configured the passive interface and everything.
Can you show me that topology? Show me that one.
I have to share my screen, already sharing.
Okay, I need to stop sharing 1 minute. Yeah, Ron, you can ask me the question if you have any. Yeah.
yeah, I was wondering if you could post the book up on the drive.
SD man. Acha, okay, I'll post this video. Devinder, can we do that topology tomorrow if you don't mind? Okay.
Yeah, sure. Fine. Yeah.
Thanks. Okay. Okay, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll post this book okay in the group. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, is it the drive we have access to?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I'll post it over. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.